Welcome to step 2 in your weight loss program. I want you to go to the Coach Robb resource page and I want you to print out the food log spreadsheet. If you're not able to get access to that for some reason, I just want you to have a journal or some loose pieces of paper that you can keep in a spiral notebook that you can reference throughout the next 4 days conveniently. Now what you're going to do is over the next 4 days, you're going to document everything that you put in your mouth. I would like to ask that you capture 2 days on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and then 2 days during the week. So that could be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or do a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The reason being is we tend to eat a little bit differently on the weekend, and I know that sounds obvious, but what I want you to understand is we're trying to capture an accurate snapshot of your current way of eating. Do yourself a favor and don't clean up the way you eat just because you're writing it down. Nobody's going to see this but you, so be honest with yourself. What I'm going to ask you to do is as you go through these next 4 days, there's 4 pieces of data that I want you to document. Very simple. 1, what are you eating? Number 2, approximate how much. Now please don't go crazy and start counting almonds and start weighing your food. Just kind of guesstimate a scoop of this, a handful of that. The third thing that I want you to do is I want you to document what time you consume that snack or that meal. The fourth variable I'm going to ask you to do is 30 minutes after every time you eat a snack or a meal, I want you to document your energy levels on a scale of 3 different things. If your energy levels are high, that tells me that you could go all day, you don't have any sense of fatigue, you have great mental clarity, you're ready to go. The middle ground would be kind of feel a little bit sleepy, a little bit sluggish, mental clarity's not all there, you're kind of feeling a little froggy in your head. The third level is you feel like you're food drunk. You've eaten some food, you literally have the head nodding, you're struggling to stay awake, mental alertness is not even in your vocabulary at this point. And that's how you're going to rate your energy levels, but it's imperative that you look at it 30 minutes afterwards. Okay? Then what we're going to ask you to do is I want you to keep that 4-day food log for, as I say, for 4 days, and then I want you to lay that out. I want you to get out 4 different colored highlighters, and I'm going to ask you to highlight by 4 different categories. So with your highlighter on the side of your food log, take each color, mark it out, and you're going to indicate your first color is going to be all your protein. That would be your animal products, and if you're a vegetarian, that would be your tofu or your legume protein sources. The second highlighter is going to be what we call your fruits. Okay? Now you have to understand that if it comes out of a can, that's not in its natural state. You would not highlight that. That wouldn't count as a classified fruit. We're going to do this. The third highlighter is going to be your vegetables. Same thing applies. If it comes out of a can, you're not going to highlight it. The fourth highlight color is going to denote how much fluid you took in the way of water. And it's very important that you understand that water intake does not include coffee, tea, energy drinks, or adult beverages. So those 4 highlighters, you're going to go through each one of your days, and when you get done, if it doesn't fall into those 4 categories, let's say that you had something that came out of a can or doesn't fall into these, you're going to not highlight it at all. You're going to purposely leave it alone. All right. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to go to the resource page again. I want you to complete the 2-week food challenge, and you'll notice that the 2-week food challenge starts with a symptom survey. So before you start the 2-week food challenge, it's imperative that you answer those questions under the symptom survey. You're going to just answer those and put them aside. You're then going to begin your 2-week food challenge. You're going to just follow it step by step as indicated, but there's a couple things I want you to do with your exercise. First and foremost, I want you to discontinue any strength training that you're doing. Strength training is anaerobic by nature. So I'm going to ask you for the next 2 weeks, just discontinue your strength training. For your cardiovascular workouts, I'm going to ask you to pull back on your volume. It's obviously relevant to your current training of volume, but cut it by 50%, 60%. And I want you to bring the intensity levels down. For those of you that work with a heart rate spreadsheet, that'd be heart rate zone 2 or below. If you don't have that heart rate spreadsheet or you don't have a heart rate monitor, you want to pass what we call the talk test. You should be able to sing out loud to yourself without becoming winded. You should be able to talk to your training partner or somebody beside you without becoming winded. If you start to run out of breath, just simply slow down. You're going too hard. And I want you to do that for 2 weeks. Dedicate yourself to it. If you're going to make these adjustments in your diet, don't undermine your efforts by training too hard or too long. Your body's going to be going through a lot of changes, and it doesn't need a lot of external stress in the form of exercise during these next 2 weeks. After you complete the 2-week food challenge, you're simply going to go back and take your symptom survey once again. That is going to end stage 2. When we get to stage 3, I'm going to walk you through how and what we're looking for in regards to the 2-week food challenge the symptom survey that you took before the 2-week food challenge and afterwards. And then we'll get into step number 3. So good luck, and we'll see you at video number 3.